Poetry of Justice show. This is where social consciousness meets the arts. And what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying, now everybody, you know I love the sound. That's my mentor, the Mr. Kevin Nash. Mr. Kevin Nash is the owner of this proprietorship here at Accelerated Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, if it were not for Kevin Nash and his dreams, it would be impossible to do what I so love to do here on Accelerated Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, and so what I also like to do at this time, I like to give a very special shout out to Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company, everybody. And that is Miss Lori G, the benefactor. How are you tonight, Lori G? I'm doing good, sissy. Good to see you tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, while I have your attention, I'm going to go ahead and give a special shout out to some more of our sponsorships. And that is going to be going straight out to G Babies Caterings, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to give a very special shout out to G Babies Catering. You want to get in touch with Chef Mac, ladies and gentlemen. He is hot on Instagram. Again, G Babies Catering. I want you to take a look at that. And then while we're going down this trajectory for sponsorships, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give a very special thanks to APS Muscle Cars, everybody. I want you to check this guy out. He's building hot rods. He is building low riders. He's got pretty much anything you want to have built, restored. This is the guy you want to talk to, ladies and gentlemen. And again, that's Mimo with APS Muscle Cars. There's also a brand new storage facility that he has going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's in Signal Hill, California. So you want to check this guy out if you want to get anything you want done. I also going to give another very special shout out to WMPJ Steelworks, everybody. A very proud sponsor for us here on the Poetry of Justice show. We're JackieRay Phillips, and so everybody, we're going to be ready tonight. My goodness gracious. Let's do it, Rashid. You ready? Hi, everybody. I got Shelly C. We've got Lori G. We've got Chris Fisher. We've got Troy. We've got Dante. We've got the lovely Queen Sia. We've got the gorgeous, talented, and beautiful Miss Shelly C. of the chat. Also sponsor of the Poetry of Justice show, JackieRay Phillips. And a very special shout out to our man, our baby, our love of the show, Big Tap Promotions. How you doing in the house tonight, Big Tap? You right? I know. It was crazy, yeah. I'm going to still do a little bit of housekeeping, guys, so I didn't have my road dog with me today, but Rashid came on through right on time, but Rashid didn't understand it. Basically, I had a wardrobe malfunction, you guys. And so, well, that's when me and Rashid went off the grid for a little while, you know what I mean? And I hear Lori like, I don't know, are we starting on time? I don't know what's going on tonight. I'm like, yeah, we gonna start. We having a wardrobe issue. So anyway, we was doing that, working out with my earring. We getting Facebook going on. And don't worry about it, Rashid, I got it. I'm gonna turn it around. But this is what we're gonna do. Go ahead, Gerald. I'm gonna give it to you for a minute. I'm gonna do some more tech. Yeah, Lori decided she's going to be at the home stew tonight. So, you know that drive every now and again can get to be too much, guys. I'm going to have you guys, Lori, you go take over the show for me. I'm having some technical difficulties right now with my Facebook. But it's all good in the hood. Rashid, it just started that other way, so we're just going to have to keep it in that other direction.
There we go.
I don't know what's going on. Okay. Yeah. What do we do? A lot of rest? Thank you, Queen Sia, for coming and joining the show again with us tonight. We really appreciate you. We was having some little bit of technical difficulties, guys. This is our first night, and me doing it solo without the crew, you know. So we got a little razzle dazzle, but we here, and that's everything that matters. And that is 2021, everybody. Can you believe that, Lord G? 2021 snuck up on us so very fast.
Only 9 days in.
That part right there, but look, Rashid, it's 9 days in the game, but there's so much information to talk about tonight. First of all, I just want to thank our fans and thank our listeners for being with us and for just always just being down for us. Particularly, I want to say shout out to Troy, shout out to Queen Sia, shout out to Cousin Deontay, shout out to Chris Fisher. Chris Fisher, you've been rolling with us for actually 5 years now, almost too, consistently and consecutively. So I always give homage to you, but these individuals right here tonight, Queen Sia, there's so many other things you could be doing right now, my sister Queen, but you decided that you was going to spend this Saturday evening with the Poetry of Justice show through Big Tap. We appreciate that. My sister and I can't tell you, we tell everybody, you know, there's certain things in life you can get back. You know, we can get money back. You know, you might mess up and do something wrong. You can get friends back. But you can't get our time back, guys. And it's so very valuable, and our time is so very precious. And so I thank each. And Troy, Brother Troy, how are you tonight? I just want to give you a very special thanks and tell you Happy New Year, and thank you for coming and being back with us. How are you doing tonight?
And I'm doing just fine. I made it to 2021, so I can't complain. There's a lot of people we know we left behind and not with us. So I'm glad to be here.
I too. I know. And I was just wondering about you, Cousin Deontay. How you doing tonight? You having a good one?
Brother Troy said, I'm just glad to be here.
I know. We looking good, I want to tell you that. Shelly C, how are you doing, pretty queen? You doing good, beautiful?
Good in the neighborhood.
And see, the thing about it is people are ill, are dying at massive numbers that we can't even compute. There's been just so much going on in this world, and look at us. We are blessed to be here tonight. We have our life, our health, our strength. We have our faculties. We have each other, which means we have love. And that's something that can never be taken away from us. And so I just want us to go into 2021 strong in our minds, strong in our hearts, strong in our spirits, because we have work to do. This is not a coincidence. None of this is by chance. We are all right here at this time, at this moment, for a reason. Because we could turn on CNN right now and see some images on our eyes that we probably thought we would never see, that we probably thought were buried with Alex Haley's legacy and roots, things that we thought we only saw in movies and films. But to know that this is just right outside our very doors, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, as we stand tonight. So we just going to have a good time. It's just talking about what's going on. We don't have a particular topic. Lori and I and Shelly C and Chris, you kind of come in on this end, and Big Tap too. Lori and I have spent countless hours and days and tears and fears on what type of subjects we're going to bring and what are we going to talk about, and will our guests be happy? And Shelly, you know all the anxiety attacks I've had driving over here to Inglewood trying to figure it all out. What we going to do, Lori G? What are we going to do? And this year I said, you know what? I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to fret. I'm going to trust in the higher power, in the higher source, in the spirit of the living God. And we're just going to come here and do what we do, which is be a voice to each other and a voice to our people. Because we have a following, we have a calling, and there is a nation that needs a people that need to hear what we will share out of our hearts and experiences tonight. So that's just pretty much setting the platform. I know my previous shows have been fanfare and excitement and parties, throwing it up. You know, Lori G, Shelly C, how we used Chris. You know how we would do it in studio. But I think 2021, we're just going to come with precision, like a stealth. And we're going to know what we have in our hearts and our spirits, and we'll bring that to our people, listen to our people, what do they want us to bring them, and just make sure that we facilitate that the best we can. So I know I've spoken for a long time, so I'm going to go with the heavy stuff first, and then we're going to end on a light fun note, yet still serious. So I want to start with, because we got people represented from all the world. So let's just go around the screen and the panel tonight. Gerald, you remember what I told you tonight, Big Town, what I wanted to see tonight was my dream? You remember what I told you? Do you recall what I told you my dream was for tonight, what I wanted to see on the screen? You don't remember, huh? I said I wanted to see multiple boxes on our Zoom screen, and we gonna be big, bigger than the Brady Bunch. We gonna have more boxes than the Brady Bunch, right? That's what I told you. Look at us, look at us. So God filled my. Rashid, Steven's coming. He may come through. He look, little cousin out there grinding, making his money. So he gonna make it through. He gonna make it through. He might make it through. So, but we gonna be all right. We got the queen. We got Queen Shelley. We got Queen Sia. Lori G hold it down to the ground, so she up in the cut like always. So it's gonna be great. It's what it's supposed to be, right? So that being stated, let's talk. Let's do it. What do you guys think about, I call it the mob. Rashid has something else that he calls it, but I call it the mob on the Capitol. Let's talk about that. Sia. Come on with it. Come on with it. I see it on your face. Queen Sia.
I call it the raid on Capitol Hill.
The raid on Capitol Hill. The mob on Capitol Hill. What are you guys calling it? What you call it, Sia?
I call it the thugs on Capitol Hill.
The thugs. What about you, Troy?
White on white crime.
That's what my daughter calls it. Queen Shelley C.
Call it the same thing, white on white crime, like, they are a mob, goons, climbing walls, and we supposed to be monkeys. I'm like, really?
Right. What about you, Deontay?
Well,
What's
one of
your
them
take?
did bust the ass.
What?
Yes.
I know. What about you, Deontay? What do you think about it when you saw all of that taking place?
It was just a reality for everybody else. I think it's something that we've been seeing as a community, but they finally got it on camera for the world to see. So.
Right.
Heard up, yeah.
You gonna show some of those images for us tonight, Rashid?
Yeah, actually.
I just couldn't. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, I see. But Lori G, thank you so much for everything that you do. What do you call it? Mob, attack, white on white crime? Do you have, what do you call it? The story. So let me go to Rashida's. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and then, but. You sound like the character Day Day on Friday. He remember he told his white slave friend Rose, he go, "Don't white people problem, black people problem."
Right. Okay.
Because when I seen about 4 or 5 grandmothers in there,
Right.
you know it's something crazy now.
Right. Yes, Lord.
The grandmothers, of course, they're there,
Right.
and the great grandmothers. All of
Right.
them, they
They are-
breathe that hatred into individuals. It
They
becomes
are the
about
ones. I don't know if you guys
they
saw
are.
it, but I saw some black folks in there too.
I did, Queen Sia. I did. They just crying
Yeah,
Hey, we
those
sick
with the
boss.
brown.
Yeah, they said, we sick, boss, we sick.
Well, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Rashid has something, Lori G. Go ahead,
All
Rashid.
right. So here are some of the images from the raid on Capitol Hill.
Oh my gosh. Look at that guy.
This is one
You
picture.
see that? Images.
It's another picture.
Some of that Facebook, see. Check it out, Facebook. Isn't that crazy? But no arrests, no major arrests, no
Until later.
shooting, no pellet gun shootings like the Black Lives Matter protests, none of that.
But-
Just
no, because all the arrests didn't come until later.
2 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because literally, a guy was able to literally go into Nancy Pelosi's office,
Yeah, I think this guy fell from Arthur.
put his feet
Isn't this him?
on
Ain't
furniture,
that something, y'all? Can you believe that?
steal her mail.
Took her mail and her computer. You know her computer's gone too, guys. They took her computer as well. I don't know what kind of. I know. Could you imagine just sitting? Yes.
There would be a lot more bodies.
Exactly. It would. Exactly. Okay. Right, right, right. What would be happening? No, it's Yikes Radio.
Well, all of these people would have never been arrested.
Right, right. I'm glad, I'm glad. I'm glad. Right, right, right.
What happened to the people in June, the Black Lives Matter protesters versus these people, it had to be on tape.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And now that it's on tape, they have to prosecute.
Mhm.
See, if there was no tapes, and there was nothing, they just, an angry mob came
Mhm.
down to the people's house,
Right, right, right.
and they had an uproar.
Right. And this is, in the photo I'm showing right now, is a picture of one of the ladies that was actually shot.
Is that the one that got shot? No.
Yes, yes. The one that actually died. Her name is Ashley Babbitt. She's spent 4 years as a member of the Marines.
Okay.
And so I honestly feel no sympathy for her.
Right.
I don't.
She kept coming.
Wait, hold on. I see it as, wait a minute,
That
I got
part
my
right
right
there.
privilege.
That part right
my
there,
right
Kevin.
privilege gonna protect me. Well, yeah, got one dead, got another one maced because
Right.
I saw a video where girl was walking away talking about I wasn't expecting this.
Exactly.
Like I
I
got
got
maced.
maced.
I got maced and pepper spray.
But did you see later on she had an onion? Yes, Shelly. Yes, yes.
Right.
So it was staged. It was all staged. Can you believe it? It was
Oh,
all
my
staged.
Firefighters from New York, from Florida, so these wasn't just the, what you call them, Proud Boys,
The
or
Proud
the
Boys.
QAnon.
These were true blue Trump supporters because they came from all over. Because
Girl, she's stupid.
before Trump got his Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram deactivated, before that happened, he did call for a rally.
He did.
Up at Capitol Hill.
Yes, 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 yes. Right, right, right. You're right, Shelley.
But letting them know what the hell he means.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know.
No, they didn't expect the people to die.
No,
That's what they didn't expect. They thought they were gonna send us a clear message, but when you act like animals, you don't know what
You gotta
happened.
get,
You got
right.
fucking bears and lions and tigers and all kinds of crazy white people. And all you need to give them a little something, and they take it a mile. And that's what happened. They didn't expect that people were gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice that police officer, I kind of feel bad for him because he was getting crushed by the crowd.
He was.
I know.
But they just
Yes,
showed it,
Mr.
kicked
Floyd.
out.
Do you think the resistance was, it was intended resistance, or do you think the police officers were just scared because there was so many people. It seemed to me that
I think I think
They let them in.
Mm-hmm.
not to shoot nobody because
Right.
when they reach the stairs, they are told to, use deadly weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you go past the stairs, but they were always in the building and they still didn't use any deadly force.
Right, it was a
So they
Well,
just
they
kept going back.
see anything like that. They know what to do if they see minority people riding, right?
Right, yeah.
You know what the
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm with you, Lori.
It's funny because
They don't even know what to do.
right, because during the Black Lives Matter protest that was up in Capitol Hill months back, literally they had armed militia, tanks, and all of that.
They was ready. They had everything.
They were ready for us
Yes,
to act a fool, but we
exactly.
didn't.
Exactly.
And I think that they were trying to send a subliminal message, like, to let them know we can do whatever we want.
Right.
And we won't get away with it.
Yes.
Uh-huh,
This
but I
is
think
right
it
now.
backfired in some way. I think it
And
backfired.
it backfired. And it backfired.
And it backfired.
And I wanna bring up one more point. In 2013, Miriam Carey, a black dentist, hygienist, dentist, she was
Yeah.
driving with her child, and she drove to the
Yes.
Capitol, and she got shot.
That's
She got
it.
shot only 20, she didn't get shot 26 times, but she got shot at 26
Yeah.
times.
Wow.
So,
U-turn.
that shows you how serious they are about their capital. So, if they breached the stairs, there should have been some gunfire to say, yo, back up.
That's crazy.
And that would have just made people
So they were
back up.
commanded not to shoot. They were
Yeah,
commanded.
exactly. They had,
Right, but it's also it's a bad look either way because you basically let them walk in. It is a bad look because now you have all the other countries looking at us like, really?
Like what? Exactly. They sending us like.
It was that easy?
letters, yeah. They're
It was
sending
that easy?
heartfelt like regrets to us, like stuff that we used to send out to other countries. Now they like sending it back to us, like nanny, nanny. You are no longer the moral majority. Screw America. You suck.
How we handle our politics. So how are we gonna look as a nation moving forward with the new administration? You know, they look at us for everything when it comes to democracy.
Right.
So if our democracy is all up and down the place where people can just storm to a federal building and try to take over, what does that say to us in the world? You know, that's my whole thing.
I blame that on
Not-
one person.
Not to mention the COVID numbers here. Not to even mention the COVID numbers. Right. Global. Right. Yeah.
Saying that, but let's don't do that. We've been saying that, but when are we going to do that?
Okay.
We need to do.
Queen Sia. I have a question for Queen Sia and for Queen Chris Fisher. Should there be two separate Americas?
No.
Kind of follow. Should there be two separate Americas?
There is though.
Educational type of college that you can look up, research, find out what that's all about. The state selected who they want as president, and that's what it is. But when you go deeper, I think it has to do with the black and brown vote.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that these states selected Joe Biden, that is why Trump and his supporters have an uproar, suppressing the black vote. So it's all about educating our kids, educating people about how this voting process works, so it doesn't get to this type of ugly stage like what we saw on Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, listen,
You can't see
That's
it.
about.
For me, the process of voting, our vote doesn't matter anyway, when you look back at the system and how it even is, the whole system is not even
That's what they want you
for,
to,
it's
that's what
for,
they
it's
want
not
you to
even
think.
for, it's not even for, because, okay, so the vote now, what did we get for our vote?
I mean, that's what they want
Somebody
you to
tell
think,
me,
Chris.
okay, well, what do we get for our vote right now?
We get
Tell me,
what,
what
got
is,
a new president.
what,
New president. And we have a Senate majority now.
And violence.
right,
That
that's
Trump,
yeah.
Trump
I
is
understand
like,
that too, I see that,
I mean, in
but
my
also,
opinion,
I saw something today that both sides incite that stuff.
Right.
They both incite that. I seen
And where
some
did you get
videos
that?
today, I seen some videos today that both sides were inciting, even Maxine Waters, I didn't even know this even happened, where she was out and they talking about, yeah, if you see them at the gas station, y'all might have saw that, I didn't know nothing about that. And I'm thinking like, what? Like, you know, if that's the case, as far as him doing what he did, they all doing it, both sides.
Mm-hmm.
If I had the video for that, I would show that, but they
I
both,
saw that.
they all doing the
I
same
saw that.
thing.
but
Doing
she,
what?
she
I'm
retracted that.
listening, doing what? What are they both, what's the
No,
same thing?
no, she's saying that, you know, because she
They're all
was,
inciting.
she was retaliating off of something that, Ted Cruz and them did, and off of something the Republicans did. She said, if you see them, you respond by telling them to get, you know, she was telling us to do some wicked, telling us to do some real
Wicked.
hard stuff to them.
And I,
What they already doing.
had,
So,
Now it's cut clear and simple. We, as the minority, voted Kamala and Joe Biden in.
correct,
There was no way he would have got it if it wasn't for the minority. So
Correct.
therefore, let's, and they got the Senate, they got the House, they got the presidency.
exactly.
Come through for us now. It's like, we got to on them ridiculously now. It's like, okay, now it's you in, we got you in, what you gonna do? Now, Chris,
exactly,
we gonna
exactly.
see.
We gave you the power, what are you gonna do?
Right.
But there's one thing that I don't want anyone to miss. When Black Lives Matter was protesting, we were protesting for our lives. They're protesting and storming capitals and mobbing because they didn't like the outcome.
Of a
That
vote.
it didn't
Right,
turn out the
right.
way
They
they
throw a
wanted
temper
it to.
tantrum.
So basically,
Right.
we said no, and anytime you tell them no,
They
they
can
have
have
a
a
fit.
problem. They have a problem.
Straight up, y'all. And I know all of this panel will believe it. All that, they got robbed and then the electoral, the votes were stolen. That's ridiculous. It's stupid.
But they believe it. They believe it, Rashi. They believe it, Dad.
And that's the problem. In fact, Mama, they've been brainwashed to a point to believe that it is true because, but at the same time, how can you believe something without actually proving it?
Right. Where's the tangible?
they want.
Right.
People hold on to the narratives in which they want to be reinforced. Trump has a narrative that supports his own personal agenda. When he was elected president of the United States, he felt that was dictator of the free world.
Exactly.
That's what he felt.
Exactly.
And any
That's
policy,
what it
anything
started.
he ever did on this 4-year journey was self-serving. He didn't give a damn if you were white, purple, black, or blue. As long as he was supporting his namesake
Right.
and putting his agenda forward, that's all that matters.
I mean, he proved the golf swing.
What is that?
He proves it. He improved that golf swing.
Thing
Yes,
that,
sure.
I don't want you to get, people, the listeners to get it confused. Voting does matter.
Yes, it
You
does.
gotta make
Yeah.
sure that you vote
Yes, it does.
on those judges, you gotta vote on the small things too. That's more important than sometimes the presidency. You gotta
Right.
vote on the judges.
The
You gotta
local
vote on black
elections, the
judges. representatives in.
Wow, the
You
local.
gotta get your senates in there. And
That's right.
that's the problem. People don't vote, they only vote during the presidency. You gotta vote before that.
Right,
That's,
right.
that's where the electoral votes come from. So that's where our mistakes are most of the time. We put too much energy at the last minute and it's too late. You gotta start early and get these people voting
I'm sorry,
early.
Mickey Mouse would have been better than that. I don't care what you
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
Y'all
absolutely.
can put down Joe Biden, you can say they all the same, I don't care what, anybody is better than that devil.
Yeah,
Right
that
now,
was-
our lives are in his hands and he's crazy.
Yes.
I'm
Well,
try-
Yeah, they're trying to get nuclear close away from him right now.
hmm.
Yeah, they're trying to get nuclear close away from
I
him.
know. Queen Sia. What the hell? I hope they change the codes.
Change the code. They already banned him on all social media.
Yeah.
He cannot.
Do you
Yes.
think it's enough time, Sia?
Yes, there is enough time because they have to do the 25th Amendment, and that will have to be enacted by Mike Pence. Mike Pence will have to enact the 25th Amendment to actually impeach him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Take over afterwards, yes. He should
Oh,
be stripped
yeah.
of the right to have the Secret Service guard him, he should be stripped of his pension, he should be stripped of all of that.
Of all
Because
of it.
believe, if we did something against the law,
And then also the
For
option to
sure.
run in 2024.
Right, that part.
if the privileges that he has, if they keep this impeachment up, he's not gonna have privileges after he
Right.
leaves the office. That's the point I wanna get.
That part. Yes, he won't get all that like Secret Service for life for everybody. Right. He'd just be a regular criminal. Hopefully he'd be in the feds by the time it's all said and done. But I'm just saying, because the people I know that did some shit, they was still in the feds. I'm just saying. It was worse than the Crips and the Bloods.
He actually unified the Crips and Bloods.
Nice and don't, be humble. But everything we was believing in about this guy that was negative, guys, it was true.
It was the
we
truth.
was right.
Yeah,
They was wrong.
they were wrong.
They was wrong. We was right.
Yeah.
So don't feel, I feel like, damn, don't throw it in their face. But listen, they still coming at us. And the reason why I say they still coming at us, they rushed that Capitol. They mad.
As a mug.
They mad. They mad. He
Oh,
lost.
but it's not over yet.
It's not over.
Yet. From what I've read in the reports, they trying to come back on the
17th.
or the 20th.
On the 17th, Queen said, they said they're coming back on the 17th. So the question will be, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna
So
do,
I
Rashid?
guess that's what they meant by Proud Boys stand by and stand
Right.
ready.
Stand by, stand ready.
Yeah.
And even though we know that they're the evilest people of the world, but they're not all bad, they were embarrassed also. So they are
Yeah,
gonna,
sure.
they're gonna be ready for it next time. So
That's
they're not gonna let the country, because the democracy was at threat. So they don't want to lose that either.
Right. Right, because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez even called for those that supported Trump during this, 3 of them, to resign.
Exactly, because they're trying to distance.
Right.
That's like the Crip call. You know what I mean? They did, for real, for real. There's a reason. Yeah. Yeah.
Not a big no.
That's what I believe too. What you think about that, Rashid? I think some shit's about to go up, y'all.
Oh, definitely, because literally, that's the very fabric of our democracy is the exchange of power.
Mm-hmm.
And the former president is supposed to be there to actually give that exchange of power. That's how the tradition goes.
Right.
So if he's not going to be there, it is a literal slap in the face to our democracy and to
A child who is
Yeah.
having
A tantrum.
No,
He is mad. He's like, I don't want to go. I'm not gonna go. Nah. Every fucking thing. He gonna fuck it all up.
right.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Right, but
Yeah.
but now he has been labeled.
How do you really feel? Please don't hold back.
But now, right. But now he has been labeled what he rightfully deserves to be labeled as, a fascist.
So, this other platform that I looked under the grassroots, and what was brought up was, so they banned him, right, on these, different platforms.
Yes, on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
I know, but I'm saying, being banned from those platforms, giving those platforms that much power, do you think eventually they're gonna start banning us because we know that there's freedom of speech?
They're already doing that.
Yeah.
And they're privately owned companies. A privately owned company can do whatever the hell they want to do. They can refuse service to you. You see them little signs when you go in and say, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone?
Yes.
It's the same thing with them. They have their own companies. So if I open a media company and I don't like what you said, I can take you off.
Right. Okay. Right.
Entertaining, he was good news, he's a reality show.
Star.
Entertainer, and they just love the fact that he
They was
has
making
that account.
money,
They was
in other words, they was making mad money off of it.
On
That
top
part.
of that,
The one thing that they didn't know, they had a plan, they using him as much as they could, but they didn't know how dangerous his voice
He was.
is. He
Right?
has 75 million nuts.
Yeah.
Following.
88 million followers, right, Chris? And emotion. Yeah. He still got it's already out there. I'm with you. I'm with you, Terrell. Dante, what you think about all this, sweetie? What you thinking?
Personally, just coming from the South and seeing racism personally myself and going through it. Everything that I'm seeing on the news as far as how people are reacting and even how they storm the building, I think, like I said before, it's a reality check to not only white Americans, but African Americans too. If you look back at the many years that they said so much about us,
Right.
and what they're afraid of what we're gonna do. I think the biggest fear to white Americans who think like Trump supporters or anybody on that side, they think that we're holding in this pain from slavery, holding in this pain from oppression, holding in this pain, and one day we just gonna riot and do what they did.
Right.
For 400 years or more, we have kept our composure and showed them our intelligence and our humility. And I think now, if anything, it's important for African Americans to see that this is what they thought we would do.
Right.
And it's funny how our
That's why I said I'm glad
vote, you know, it's funny how our vote is so important to either party, whether it's Republican or
Amen.
Democrat. It's so funny how they put us on this pedestal of how they want us to be, and they can't reach that. It's a lesson for us to learn. And this is why they put us on the pedestal that we do. This is why we influence the world the way we do. With all of the oppression and anger that we have, We ain't never acted like that.
Yeah.
Walking Selma.
Right.
We just walking and singing church hymns and they singing dogs and spraying hoses and
Yeah.
killing a couple of people. You understand what I'm saying? Fred Hampton, a Black Panther party in Chicago. The man had his hands up, shooting him in the back in his drawers.
Yeah.
All kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
this is what they do. They can storm, they can stomp, and they do all of that. It's a lesson for us to see how important we are to this country.
That means we need to create our own
Thank you.
party. We need to create our own party.
Listen,
Get
we
black,
not-
red, and black. We need to create our own party.
That
Now-
part.
now-
Queen see it. That part. All right, Troy.
Oh, red and black, forget about, red and blue, forget about that. That's true. We gotta separate ourselves from being Democrat and Republican because both parties are against black people. Democrats have killed many millions of babies of ours by their Planned Parenthood.
Yes.
Now, I would
Preach.
have probably a 25-year-old son if I didn't make that mistake when I was 19 of aborting my child. So this is what they put into our communities, abortion clinics and all that. That's Democrats. And then you got the Republicans who are straight up in your face, nasty and hateful. They hate everything black, so they don't want us to have anything. They rather suffer and not receive a welfare check that they need more than us. And they'll
That
vote
part.
against that just so that we can't have it. So that's how much hate the Republicans have. So we don't have no friends on either party. So we need to separate from amongst these people. We are God's people. And some of them know it, some of us don't know it. And the white people, so I'm talking about the superior white people, they know who we are. They know that we are special people because we don't have that hate. You see how we don't hate, you don't talk about no black people going up there and shooting up a whole school? There's a reason for that. We're God's people, we're not that evil. We don't have that evil blood in us.
God's people.
The white
God's
people could
people.
kill,
God's
they can kill anybody at any time. They'll shoot up everybody. If they have a bad day, they wanna shoot up the whole planet. Us black people, you don't hear about us doing nothing, major, like, killing multiple people. You don't hear about mass shootings with black people, because we're a very special people. We're God's chosen people. And that's
Bible
why.
tell you, George,
The Bible tell you that too.
The Bible.
Separate yourself.
Amen. Preach. Preach. Electoral college. Absolutely, we do.
More power than we think. And they don't want us to know that we have that power. We have the power. There was over 80 million people that voted for, Biden.
Right.
Exactly.
80 million people, that's
80
more
million.
than half. That's power.
That was more than Obama.
Amen.
More than Obama. And that goes to show you,
Man.
that goes to show you, we have the power that we don't use.
We have
And
the
just like
power.
my grandmother told me not long ago, and she passed retrospectively ago, I asked her, why did she vote? And she said, because they told me I couldn't.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Amen.
We would have had 90 million votes if they didn't take, I don't know if y'all noticed, but you noticed your mailboxes wasn't out there? They
What you
took
mean,
the
Joe?
mailboxes and everything. They
Wow.
tried
That's
to
the
press
only
our
reason Trump won. Trump won because we didn't turn out.
Yeah, right. The first time. Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Now I see what they knew Joe Biden was gonna whip his ass. They knew it.
He's still a clown. Joe Biden's still a clown.
He's still
They all are.
low key, easy. It's just the way it goes. That preach, Shelly C, the clown over the devil. We say the clown Over the devil. Wow. Over Satan. What part, Tab? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A higher standard. Mm. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But what about a mm-hmm. Roll with it.
The scary thing about Trump, he wasn't no damn politician.
He'll give
You want somebody who was an actor to be your surgeon? No.
a TV reality star. He's a TV fucking reality star. This is all still a big fucking reality show. Yes. He's so cool. So much poise. Just prima. Right.
They want to blame
Exactly.
Obama for everything, but just think, he has to have, just like Biden had to have those two Georgia.
The Senate.
If
Yep.
anything done,
No,
if Obama, Mitch wouldn't let Obama do anything.
Anything.
There was things they wanted to propose that they couldn't even bring to the floor.
Right.
Because Mitch wouldn't even let them bring it to the floor.
Just
Yep.
crazy.
That is
It was
true.
things he
Because,
wanted
in
to
my-
do. There was
in
things
my
he wanted to do.
opinion, it was people when President Obama won, racism and hatred was so deep that they were like, okay, you got him in office, we're not gonna let him do shit though.
Right.
So you know
Yeah.
what? He wanted to give everybody $1 billion. No,
No.
no, I don't even have to hear what the bill is. Because those were along those lines of racism and hatred. I
Right.
think one fundamental thing we have to accept, we may not like, is that America was built on fear and racism.
Absolutely.
And it is woven into the fabric and the tapestry
Of what
of
this
this
is.
country.
Exactly.
And it's
Absolutely.
never gonna change.
It won't change. It will not change. Ever. I just don't see it. Amen. Right. Right.
our community because it gave us inspiration to say,
And hope.
put in that extra effort. Because you got to look at it, like you said, cousin. You look at Crispus Attucks, the first man that ever died for this country was a black man. The only reason he even was able to get into the war was so he can be free. The fact that he became a soldier so he could be free, that was way centuries ago. And we still have the same issues today that that man died for way back then. If anything, this is an eye-opener to us to say we can't look for either party to do it. We have to
Do it ourselves.
we have to be more active and we have to be more a part of. Because we do have an importance in this country. This country was built off our backs. And then further along, there came more ethnic people, the Native Americans as well as the Mexicans. We have to come together as one to say, okay, we can't look for Moses all the time.
Right,
We-
right.
And we gotta say what we want. We gotta show them what we want and take care of our own. Cause we can't wait forever, but we can't just bash Obama all the time now.
Right.
Man couldn't do it by himself.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Dante. That's so true. Thank you, Deontay.
Of any of it. It all seems staged.
I agree.
The cops letting them in, same players showing up, question mark.
Yeah,
They seem they're all on his payroll.
yeah.
And on social media, 45 said he's going to start his own social media. So I think all of it is a setup for more to come.
Absolutely. He's not gonna go away at all. Quietly, for sure. True. Mhm. No, I agree with you, Troy. I absolutely do. But what do you think we as black people fall into all of this? Do we? What are we still pawns on the board? What do you all see, Drew?
Brought us more awareness. So like Troy said earlier, I just think we gotta smart, be aware, listen and watch, and just be ready to, we gotta fall under somebody's leadership. We gotta make a decision.
Our own,
You say our own crazy.
either fall under our own leadership.
You know what, I truly believe that, so who's gonna start it?
That's what I was getting ready to say.
That's why we.
Y'all talking about it, but who's gonna start it?
It has to be a leader, it has to be see, we rely on people, but me, I'm more about God, that's my leader. So that's why I don't roll with the Republican, I don't fall for that trap of the Republican, Democrat, and let them think for me. I think for myself, whoever's rolling with the old-fashioned Bible, if they going by those commands, I'm rolling with you. I'm gonna roll with that person, and I can't go with Democrats because they're not rolling with that Bible. Neither is the Republicans. They only have hate. They're hypocrites. So I have to be on my own. I recruit children. I talk to kids, and I wake up the kids because I try to talk to adults. They already been brainwashed. There's millions of dollars being put into music industry, to anything that you watch, the TV, to make sure that black people are the most ignorant, dumbest people in the world. They put a lot of money into that, and it's mostly Jews.
Right.
I think I talked about this already, but they put a lot of money into making us look, to stay stupid and ignorant, making us watch Real Housewives, making us watch hip hop, or listen to hip hop music. And most of the hip hop music I grew up on, they didn't talk about degraded women. We frowned upon anybody from NWA talking about a bitch or a hoe and talking about women in that way. I was more of Jungle Brothers, partying, Tribe Called Quest, or Africa, not Africa, but there's a Public Enemy. I was on that tip where you were talking about educating black people and making sure that we going in the right direction. But when you put millions of dollars into making sure that we sag our jeans and talk ignorant and put, idols up in front of us that are like a Cardi B, and we over there, picking her up, making sure that she gets all the airplay. We keep on taking 2 steps forward and 10 steps back every time we get, a misrepresentation of a idol like Cardi B, Jay-Z, and the rest of those, morons, Beyonce, that are talking reckless and dividing. Beyonce's there just to divide black women and black men.
Right.
That's what she's there for, and she does a great job of it, because, her music is always bashing, males. So you gotta be very careful what you're listening to and what you're listening to.
I'm just saying, all this Jesus talk, but aren't we all being a little judgmental?
No, judgmental, righteous judgment is always good. You don't want your kid over there,
Righteous
listening
in
to
your
them.
opinion. Yeah, righteous in your opinion, yeah.
What you mean, Shelley?
Do my book, I didn't write the Bible. It's not my opinion.
I read the book too.
But I didn't write the Bible, I just go by the book.
I didn't write it either.
What you mean, Shell? No, I'm saying, what do you mean by that, Shelley? Just elaborate. When you were saying your opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you could just extrapolate a little bit. I just want to make sure you're good.
I'm mistaken, it's not up to us, basically, doesn't the Bible say that it's not really up to us to judge?
Right.
A judgmentalness going on, and I want to explain that to me. I'm not being combative, and I'm not trying to be ugly about it. I'm just saying, everybody has their own path. Everybody has to answer to one God. So, who are we to judge what another person does? And when the Bible said there's only one person that can judge us.
Yeah.
No,
I
I don't
understand
think
what he was
the
saying,
Bible
because
does
he
not
said
say that.
judge
It does not
righteously.
say
He said you can judge, but you have to judge righteously.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
You can
Well,
judge at what
determine.
the action was. You're not judging the person at what they're doing, you're judging the act of what they are doing.
Exactly,
That's
that's
the
my girl,
judgment right there.
Okay.
It's not that, I'm talking about that
I don't
person.
either.
That
So,
person, I'll explain what you've done. That's good.
Behavior is their behavior, what he's judging. He's not judging that person, because the person can do whatever they wanna do.
Right.
Right.
Relying on the act of what they're doing is what he is judging, which we can do that. We can judge the act of what somebody's doing, but we're not condemning them for what they're doing.
For doing it.
That's what the Bible
Well,
says.
that
So we
sounded
can
kind
do
of
that.
condemning.
Yeah, it is.
To say
Now,
that
I'm gonna tell you this, let me-
Beyonce is a man basher and she's
Right.
poisoning the minds of young people.
Right,
That's judging Beyonce.
That is,
That's not judging her
it's called
behavior.
it's called righteous judgment. I'm judging the actions of, if you are saying it's okay to sag your pants and look like, and have your butt exposed to the world, we're never gonna get respect from
From anybody.
any nation. I'm talking about the Mexicans are looking at you like, look, these clowns over there, they don't even know how to wear their pants right, so how are we gonna follow them? So, we supposed to be leaders. If we got leaders that, like Cardi B, who are always talking, negative and degrading themselves, and Beyonce, who's always, talking negative about a black male in her songs, if
She
we
just did
think that's
an album
right.
called Black
I mean, I
Parade.
don't know every song
which
that
was celebrating
Beyonce
black
made,
people.
because I don't listen to music like that. But I do know that I know some old songs that aren't bashing men.
Yeah, I know, that's
They're
why,
talking about
yeah.
women empowerment, they're talking about, feminism, they're
Yeah.
talking about girl power, do you know what I'm saying?
No, but you have to listen to, recent stuff. There was I watched the Netflix special of her and her Bumblebee Beehive, and I heard the words that were coming out her mouth, and it was
Right,
nothing,
because she
nothing like her
was
old stuff. It's
Jay-Z,
nothing like her old
that's
stuff.
why.
Her old
No.
stuff was a thing.
Hey, Troy,
Her old stuff was a thing.
She's probably changing, she's probably changing, wait, girl, she's probably changing now because she's getting off of the music scene and going back into the closet. Because I saw something that she did and said that she was getting off of, she's not gonna be making no more music right now. She's gonna start focusing on her family, and she's about to go in like a little, like, in some kind of cocoon or something.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, I wonder what's going on with her.
Right.
Cause she
dealing-
that they make her put out. They're making her put out this garbage.
So
And
she's
she
a
doesn't want
slave,
that.
is she a slave, so she's being like slave to it all, Troy? Got it. Like Tamar to Shelley, like Tamar, remember?
Her song, she talks about how the industry puts you in a box and makes you put out this degrading music, and it's
The industry doesn't make you do that, you make a choice to do that.
You make a
you
choice.
know, I have.
If you
I
wanna
beg to
keep
differ.
if you wanna keep the contract.
Right. Right. Good. Good.
That part. Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
But I feel as though you look down upon people. I feel as though you look down upon people that you're trying to help instead of, it's the way you go, it's like you're almost putting yourself up here and the person that does something that you don't like, that you try to, what you say.
Never that, because I was, me,
What
I was worse than those people, because you know me. I went to LA with you. Being a little hole and doing all the stupid things you got there. But I hate that shit. You gotta come to a point where you once you wake up, you gotta put away childish things. I can't be that hoe I was back then. I have to
Well, maybe
wake
they
up,
gotta
change
wake
my
up on
life.
their own time. Maybe
Uh,
they
yeah.
gotta wake up on their own time.
Say again?
Maybe, I said maybe they need to wake up on their own time.
True.
But the thing is,
Like you did.
you said, look, what you just said, you said on their own time. The fact of the matter is, they don't have that time. I was
Ah.
blessed to make it to
No,
where
you
I
know
am,
this.
where I
No,
can,
you
where I
know
can
this.
talk to you today.
No, you know
Tell you,
this.
hold on, Tam, hold on, Tam, let me finish. I'll be quick with this. I was blessed to be able to live through, being a little hole, getting shot at in the clubs. I was blessed to make it and be able to talk to you right then. But those people, the people right now, they don't have the time. They could be struck down dead in their own sin.
That part, how you know?
Oh,
You
God
don't
comes like a
know
thief
if
in
you're
the
gonna be
night. You
taking
don't
that.
know when the Lord is
It
coming
might
back.
be tonight, it
Oh,
might
I'm
be
not-
could be a
Let me
hundred
tell you
years.
something.
Let me explain something. Somebody,
Hold on.
let me explain something. Four kids just died. Four kids just died in a vehicle accident, just like that. You don't know when
People
you're
were
gonna
dying
see
in
the
vehicle accidents when you were in a home. People were still dying.
Exactly, I could have been gone in my sin and going straight to hell. So that's why I have to say,
Exactly.
if you have a voice now, hold on, if you have a voice now to speak to people and tell them, don't go down that way, and you have a chance, the opportunity to speak to children, you tell them, don't do this, don't have sex before marriage and have a baby before marriage, because it's gonna break up the family. If I can say it now, if I can say it to them now, I should say it. I'll be
Yes,
a
you
animal. I will have to be a fool not to say it.
Hold
You know what
on.
I'm saying?
Listen to
I
me.
think Deontay got something he wants to say.
What's up, Deontay?
Go ahead, Mr. Gerald. Hold on. I'm 58 years old. And you say something to me all the time.
You know I do.
You don't know. Listen, you don't even acknowledge the fact that I've changed. And I understand and I've listened to you. But it's only for so much. Listen, bro. And the thing about it is, when I come to you, if I see a little something, because you ain't got too much bad about you, you ain't got too much anything, but sometimes I might see something. If I come to you, it's the world is in the air. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I can see that, I can see that, okay, Kate.
I wanna hear what
That's pretty much
Deontay has
any
to
type of
say.
relationship, he right.
Come on,
I'm not gonna
Deontay.
lie about that, cause I'm like, you can't tell me nothing, cause that's being a hypocrite, because I took you from where you was, where Tapper was before, he changed a lot, but he's still wilding sometimes. I have to tell him, yo, chill.
But
She
I
not the one. I have to tell him, yo, chill, she not the one. She not the one. Don't even mess with that one. So, yeah, he helps you out. But I wanna hear what my man got to say. What's his
Okay.
name?
Deontay.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Troy, one thing that I will say, I would agree that a lot of the music that is out today isn't great for youngsters to listen to. But this is why it's important, you know, for guys like yourself and Mr. Gerald, when you see guys like me, when you see guys like Stevie, that's when you come up and you give us knowledge. Don't necessarily judge us, because it's not about what you say, it's how you say it too.
Right.
Especially if you're somebody that you was once in my shoes. Because there's a lot of us like me. At age 21, I buried 3 brothers to murder. One brother passed away of cancer. So the mentality of where I come from, there's a lot of older guys that ain't been through the tragedies that I've been through.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's all about the approach. You can say, hey, you doing this wrong, or you doing that wrong, man, you whack. Teach somebody, educate them. Come up
That's
to them
exactly what I
correctly.
do. Thank you for that advice, and that's exactly what I do. I tell them in a gentle way. But when I talk to older people, I'm not gentle, because you should know better. But when I talk to young people, it's more like a soft tone. But when I'm talking to old people, I'm like, no, come on now, you 50 plus, you still ain't read the 4 gospels
First
yet.
of all,
You ain't read the 4 gospels yet. I'm like, come on, man. Step up the game, because we ain't got much time. We gotta get these kids in.
We got it, right, we don't have much time.
forceful is what he's trying to approach you with. And the reason is, because you guys don't know this, Troy has 4 older brothers that all his, they destroyed him. So now he's trying to be this, to get his voice across. Because with his 5 older brothers, he never had a voice. So he needs his voice now.
Good for
He
him.
needs his voice.
You know what, Mr. Troy, another thing, Mr. Troy, I would say is, for y'all generation, you know, for the older generation, when you look at it, because my uncle used to tell us this all the time, when we would have our little cousins with us, if we was doing some nonsense, or at the time, if we wanted to be gang members, or whatever the case may be, we can't talk to them or bark at them, because all they know is the stupid stuff we taught them. Because if they've been under us and under our wing, you understand what I'm saying? Like I tell everybody all the time, the generations has always changed. Like when you look back at like the blaxploitation times where y'all had Richard Browntree, Ron O'Neal, like there was some strong black men at that time.
True.
Now when you look at us, it's different.
It's all rappers. It's all hip hop artists. Ice Cube, Ice-T. Those are the Martin Luther King.
You wanna know what it is though, Mr. Troy? It's because like the times, right? Where your older guys that taught you was the Richard Browntrees, the Ron O'Neal, the Nicholsons and all of that. Our big homies was the old dogs, the crack babies from the 80s. So that's when your generation steps in and filled that void that we didn't have. We didn't have the same guys that was teaching us how to move, how to talk, how to be respectful to women. Fortunately enough, I had some strong black women raise me. They was gonna make sure I act right.
Exactly. You
When I
can
leave.
see it when you speak, you know. I know you were raised properly, just by the way you speak and the proper language you use and the way your mannerism and everything. But I deal with a lot of kids who are underprivileged. When I coach the kids, I'm dealing with no fathers around. I'm buying them the drinks and buying them the uniforms. I'm putting all my money into them. And I'm looking for one dad to help me out. They show up one day, you won't see them again. So it goes back to when I get angry, I have a right to be angry because I'm putting in that work to make a difference in my community, to make sure these young people are going the right direction. But then I got this rapper talking about killing another black man, and that's who they look up to because they're playing it in their radio, and you hear that 12 hours a day, and you hear me only for like 20 minutes when I got you in my on a practice court or in church or wherever I'm speaking at. I got him for like 20 minutes, but I gotta compete with a knucklehead that listens to 12 hours of whoever the latest rapper is right now, talking about killing each other and calling a bitch a hoe and all this other stuff. And I can't compete with that. So it's frustrating.
You can't,
So,
Troy. You pour into that child the word of God. If you pour into that child what the Lord wants us to do, That, the word of God can compete with anything. And children may depart from it, but they will always come back to that word. And
Yeah,
that's
true,
what you have to do. You have to empower that young person so that they don't want to hear about a woman being a bitch or being a hoe. The one thing about my little cousin I love so much respect, Mr. Gerald, Miss Lori, right?
Yeah.
That's because people poured into him respect. What you're doing in your community is beautiful,
Yes, it
Troy. Pour into those children. Let them know what God wants of them. They have to be the owners and we all have to carry our own cross. No matter how much you don't want them to have their pants hanging round down their ankles, until they decide they don't want to hanging down around their ankles, that's never going to change. You have to teach these young people that the Lord said you can be in the world, but not of the world.
Right.
And that's what you gotta teach them.
Yeah.
That's what I do through my job.
I try to tell them they're kings and queens, not
Yeah,
not thugs and they call themselves bitches. How do you gonna call yourself a bitch and think it's cool? That's why I get mad at Cardi B, because she could say something and have everybody, and it'll sound cool if she says it. And then the next thing you know,
Mr. Troy, but you know
that's
what?
cool because they don't know a difference. They don't have anything yet to combat that Cardi B with. You have to empower them and fortify them with the breastplate of righteousness. So they have something to stand against.
Yes.
Right?
I hear you.
And Mr.
Right.
Troy, another good thing, Mr. Troy, is when you do, be around these youngins and you do speak to them and talk to them, then you give them options. The one thing that I can say about the older guys that was in my neighborhood or my uncles, especially, they would give me options. So if I'm listening, I'm a 90s baby. So if I'm listening to Heavy D or MC Hammer or I'm listening to anything like that, because at one point in time, they didn't like them either.
Right. True.
Looking back, they was clean, but they ain't like
Yeah,
them.
Heavy D wouldn't even curse on his album. He wouldn't even curse
But
on
you
his
know
album.
what? But my uncles and my cousins, they would educate me a little bit more. They'd be like, hey, okay, you like Jay-Z, you like Biggie, you like Pac. You ever heard of Rakim? You ever heard of Gucci?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, man, I ain't listening to that.
You like that shit banging. It's a great example.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just give them the options that they need. Cause all they need, the radio ain't gonna give them their options.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The TV ain't gonna give it to them. You gotta be the one to give them them options to be like, okay, if you like Cardi B, listen to Lauren. Listen
Right.
to Queen Latifah, listen to Yo-Yo, listen to different ones like that. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yo,
That's
D,
what I'm trying to do.
you had 3 blood brothers that was killed.
Yes, sir. All 3
You-
murdered different times.
Oh my
Your
God.
brother,
It's tough.
man,
It was all in like
Bless
a
you.
2-year span. 2 got murdered 1 year, and then 1 got murdered like a week before my birthday in Maryland. And then in that year, later that year, my last brother that was living passed away of cancer.
Oh my goodness.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but you know what?
but you
Well,
have a humbleness inside your spirit that I see since I've been talking to you.
Well, don't take this
Like the-
way, but I can tell he's been around women. I can
Like no other.
tell.
Woman,
You got a humbleness.
great
Like a
job,
humbleness.
everybody.
I can tell he's been raised by women.
Should've let it
You
kid.
know, I'm not gonna take it to heart, but, I'm talking with you brother right now. It had nothing to do with no woman. The humbleness,
Always.
the humbleness that you have, brother, it pours out, man. You know what I mean? Whoever taught you, brother, sister, whoever. Like Lori said, man, they really strong influence on it. And I love it, man. Keep it up, bro. Just keep it up.
yeah, for sure. One thing I will always say, man, I was raised around
Hello.
old school. It was different. Yeah, understand what I'm saying?
That part.
And another thing is God, man. Everything that I've been through, there was one point in time, and this is by age 21. So this is before I had my daughter or anything like that, right? So being a young man and having to move forward And all of my male figures that I would have called when my daughter was born, or when I graduated college, or anything like that, wasn't around. But this is how good God works. Look how many people now I can relate to and talk to. And somebody that can learn something from me. I ain't go through all of that for no reason. God ain't kept me here for no reason at all. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And it's like now it's the turning of the tide where though I was the baby brother of all these, all my brothers, now look at how many people I got behind me, whether it be my cousins or whether it be homeboys, the kind of wisdom that I got, there shouldn't be a handful of people that I can't affect in a positive way. Because then, whatever you got to say, once I tell you what I've been through, you can't complain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you can't make, like you said, Mr. Troy, you can't make no excuses. It's your choice to either go left or go right. So if you see me, and I had every reason to go left, and now I went right, and you see how good it's going for me, you ain't got no choice but to roll with it.
That part.
Yep. True.
Amen.
Fact.
Amen. Amen. This is a beautiful night, everybody. You see how you doing, Queen C? You having a good time? Amen. Amen. Sister Chris, how you doing? I'm just checking in with everybody, guys. Lord, you taking a look at the clock? I know, right? Look at that. We were just talking a little bit about 45 and getting ready for 46 and just traveling along here. The Poetry of Justice Show. It's JackieRay Phillips on reactradio.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's time for us to maybe just turn the tide a little bit. And, Shelly C, Queen C, you may or may not remember, but Shelly C of the chat. On the chat, Queen C, they air each third Saturday of the month here on the Poetry of Justice Show. Let me look this way. Every third Saturday of the month. And what we are a group of girlfriends. We've been friends for like 30 plus years. So it's, Lori here on the panel, Shelly C, myself, and we have another gal, Tanya Michelle. So what we do on that show, we kind of have all kind of different fun topics, different fanfare. And of course, we want you to be a part of some of those shows coming forward, Queen Cia. But I just wanted to give you the history behind this. Shelly brings us our celebrity segments, particularly to the ladies of the chat, and here tonight. So, Shelly's going to give us some updates, but what we're going to talk a little bit about, particularly as a group, because Gerald has some ideas about it as well. We wanted to talk about, from my hometown in Upgrowing, Compton, California, Dr. Dre. We wanted to do a little bit of a divorce update on Dre. We want to do a health update on Dre, and there may be some speculation about that brain aneurysm tied to steroid usage. So I'm thinking, what? So look at what's going on. Looking at Deontay. So then we're going to switch reels a little bit here on the Poetry of Justice Show. So Shelly C, I'm going to turn it over to you, dog. You may have some other ones before that, but I know I'm waiting on the Dr. DRE. Get the tea.
Dr. Dre, he's been a topic of conversation for us on many shows. And as you guys all know, he was hospitalized with a brain aneurysm, and thank God he is doing better. They're reporting. But one of the things I wanted to update you guys on was the divorce. And right now, Dr. Dre has agreed to pay his estranged wife, Nicole, $2 million in temporary support. Okay.
He agreed to that $2 million per month?
No.
Oh, see, when people get sick,
Not per month. Not per month.
my mom
One-time
used
payment.
to say they
No.
do that until they can't, and then when they get sick, they start recalculating shit. But I'm just saying.
Nope. It's
A one-time fee?
Yes. No. It's a one-time check.
Okay, I'm sorry.
One-time check, and that he'll pay it, and at least until the next divorce hearing that is in April. So she gets $2 million until April.
Till April. And wait a minute, dog. Did you say he did that from his hospital bed, dog? Did you say that?
$1 million until April, till our next hearing. Well, basically, take the 2 million and leave me alone until April, our next hearing. Let me heal. So, and he agreed to this from his hospital bed. Wow.
JackieRadio.com. Queen Sia.
For the next several months. So it's not just the 2 million check that she has till April. There's some other things in it, okay?
Look at Sia. Sia and Lori must be thinking the same thing, because y'all got the
For Dre will not cover Nicole's security costs. So she has to pay for her own security, because you know she was asking for him to cover the security.
Security. She did her own security.
I thought she didn't trust his security.
She didn't, right.
This whole divorce thing has ruffled a little feathers. I don't have time with Tiny Michelle here, but that kind of ruffled her feathers, and I know it ruffled Big Tap's feathers. But I'm interested in hearing what Troy has to say. I'm interested in hearing what Troy has to say.
She said what Troy has to say, not Tap, Troy. Deontay.
That's calm. I'm so sorry, but he's just there. He's there. He's already there, and he's not even 50 years old yet. So I'm interested, and then I want to hear Dante at the end. Can you tell me, Mr. Troy, what do you think of all of that?
You talking about Dr. Dre?
Yes. And Shelly, just for the record, it's Dante. But Deon. Just so you know, because I know how we love, you know how we love it.
All right, my comment on Dr. Dre. Oh, well, let me tell you the history of my Dr. Dre. I had his album, The Chronic, and it influenced me greatly during that era. There was a song he had on there was Snoop Dogg called Bitches Ain't Shit About Hoes and Tricks. They're going on and stuff. Yeah, and I rocked that song because if a girl broke my heart or whatever it was, it built that was the song he played that kind of made you feel better about being angry with that and just saying hell with all these bees, right? So that's how he influenced me back then. And then eventually you wake up and you say, and you look back and you look and you hear yourself, you remember that you used to listen to that nonsense back then. And you're like, damn, I can't believe I listened to that. At one time I listened to only good music. And when hip hop just started, there was only good stuff out there I would listen to. And then Wu-Tang came, and then all of a sudden I said, what is this violence? And then I got accustomed to it, then I started rocking that. And NWA prepared me for the way I was dealing with females and saying F the police, because I didn't like the police either. So, but I knew the Bible because I was raised in the church. So, like she said, if you raise up a child right, they'll come back to it. So I came back to it, and I finally see that Dr. Dre was in error, and Tupac also, and Biggie Smalls also, who I was very big fans of also, because I saw, even though Tupac, he would catch you with something positive every once in a while. He'd throw something positive at you, and you could rock that, like a Dear Mama song. And you had the Biggie who had all negative. I couldn't find anything positive about it, most of his music. But Dr. Dre, he's a very important person in the hip hop industry. But I think that he did more harm than good. He's a man that he has to ask for forgiveness, and he has to repent. He has to turn from his ways. And I think he probably was turning from his ways. I don't know what he's up to now, but I wish he didn't divorce his wife. I wouldn't divorce her. One, because the Bible says not to, and two, because it just seems like you're giving in, and he's not mentally healthy enough to make that decision at this time. I think he should wait until he's recovered, and then he could think about it.
But Mr. Troy, it's her decision. She has decided she wants the divorce. She wants the 2 million. So what would you say?
So he wants the divorce also, right?
Correct.
Oh, well, then.
What are your thoughts of her getting 2 million and him taking care of her mom in Palisades, her place in Palisades, and her getting the 2 million until April,
That's
and
fair.
then her eventually wanting 2 million per month.
Wow.
I'm not giving her 2 million a month, but if he could afford it, I don't know what kind of money he has.
The 2 million for right now.
But,
I think
if
that
he
should
has
just be.
money like that, it's really not gonna
For her,
hurt
it
him,
seems like.
giving her 2 million a month. I don't think it's gonna hurt him too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't get into that kind of gossip, but, I don't think it's gonna hurt him. So by giving her 2 million a month, I know she doesn't deserve it, but that's the law. So you go by the law of the land and just pay up that 2 million. It's not gonna stress him out one bit if he has money coming in, residual income coming in all the time. I think he could afford it, so it's not gonna hurt him none. And so my opinion is that just do it, just do what the law says and just move on.
Right. I don't know, Lori G.
I think we had this last discussion, we talked about, if that amount of money was suitable for her. And Shelley, you had said that, if it was a woman, if it's a wife, there's no limit to what she's supposed to get. She's supposed to get the ultimate amount that she requests for in a divorce decree or whatever.
I
think we were talking about a lot of.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. What I was saying is, who are we to determine what the amount would be that she gets? We don't know. She's still entitled in California. I don't know about anywhere else, but in California, she's still entitled to the same lifestyle that she's had with Dre for 25 years.
So
yeah.
I think we were going back and forth with that. I was listening to everyone, their opinion on that part. After carefully looking at it as well, I mean, she must have been hurt. She must have put her through a lot. And for that, she has every right to ask for what she wants.
Right.
You know?
I like that answer.
Yeah.
You know.
Just my word.
I want him to heal. And I like that.
I
I want him to heal.
I know.
Now, what's this linkage with the steroid?
Yeah.
Well, you've been looking rather cut lately.
That's what the, yeah.
Rather cut.
Yeah.
He's been looking pretty good. What? Washboard stomach, cut arms. He's been looking kind of good.
I think Queen see it.
So rumors? Okay, rumors. Got it.
To steroids that he had been taking, it does kind of do different things to the brain, not just chemical imbalances sometimes, but they also may have something to do with an aneurysm. And I was wondering if anybody, had heard anything about that and how you feel about that. Do you think steroids have that type of effect on the brain? I know, in my opinion, I think that sometimes they do cause a chemical imbalance in the brain. I mean, we've seen it with some athletes.
Yes.
That act erratic from taking the steroids and having different effects on bodies. And I know that we've heard it, sometimes they even cause cancer. So I'm wondering, does anybody think that maybe that could be it? I mean, I'm not accusing him of taking them, but I'm saying he is looking rather cut.
What? Go.
It's to do with, him, like taking it as a medicine. He's taking it religiously because he wants to look a certain way. And he's looking that way. But like me and Troy have other friends that has done the same thing as him. And the same thing happened to them. Yes, and they died. But
Died?
So let me ask the men on
and
the
not only that, listen, there's a lot of people here right now in the show business scared. Busta Rhymes is scared right now.
What?
Timberland is scared right now. You know Timberland, the producer?
Yeah, but why you
He's
saying?
scared right now.
So let me ask you this, Tap, and the men on the panel, Troy and Deontay, I'm saying it right. Let me ask you this, why is it that men are more susceptible to taking steroids versus going under the knife? Why,
Or
I
just-
did.
why wouldn't he just
Because
rather?
going under
just
the
have
knife going under the knife doesn't build the muscles like steroids.
They just put the
Okay.
do they just put the implants in? They just do the implants? The muscle implants, the six pack?
Nah, that's more fat sucking.
They lose the weight, you know, like me, for instance, you know, I look rather good now that I lost all that weight, you know.
You do, Jack,
But,
you
yeah, but, yeah, you can stop eating this much and lose weight, but if you wanna look sexy and big and get the six pack like you said, that takes medicine.
Oh,
my.
You
I did
that's-
look at him one time and I was like, he looked kind of thin, you know, kind of chubby or whatever, and then he got thin, and then all of a sudden it was like, bam! I was like,
Oh,
whoa.
it's nothing, you know, when
Yeah.
it's stuff like that, you know what's up.
It was like bam, Shelly, just bam.
Okay. Okay.
I was, you know,
He was just looking.
As, you know, that's rapping and doing his thing and was very good.
mhm.
You know, suddenly you look at TV and this dude is big as a mug.
Yeah.
That's the, yeah.
My comment is this, men, I think I've said this before on the last show about how it's a role reversal. Men are taking selfies now more than women, and they're getting more feminine than women are. And I'm tired of it, because I'm old school. I don't take that long to get ready and go out. I get dressed in 5 minutes, give me 5 minutes, after the shower, 5 minutes, I'm in and out. Niggas nowadays, they straight up feminine. They're getting their eyebrows done, they're getting their pedicures, manicures, and all kinds of.
What's wrong with a mani-pedi?
Did he say, man, who, what?
That's
Hold
your-
on.
If you could do that, I could stand the manicure and pedicure, but there's certain men that go way too far. My eyebrows done, and they try to look better than the woman, and I can't
Okay.
stand it. The woman
Troy.
should look better. It's okay for the woman. You shouldn't outshine your woman when you going out. It's okay to match her. You know, but there's men that are trying to look better than the woman.
It sounds like he's talking about homosexuals.
But Troy, I have to say,
But that knows who I am.
Oh my
I'm gonna tell
God,
you.
I can't.
sexual thing. So I
Yeah.
get what you're saying, but that, yeah, that too much time, and if I'm ready before you, that's a problem.
That's a
Yeah, and the selfies. I'm tired of man putting selfies on Facebook.
Guys,
A selfie, I'm like, I feel like smacking them. I don't give a like, hold up.
selfie?
I mean, it's better than us showing, you know, a certain types of pics.
Right.
Better than that.
I'm like, don't beat it, nigga. Hold on. I don't want to see no selfie. I don't want to see it.
Oh my God.
Take
Hey.
selfies.
That's
That's
good.
it.
I'm in the house in COVID-19. I used to be out every day, chilling in everybody's face. Now I'm in nobody's face with my damn kids. So Facebook is the
Oh,
only
you trying
place
to
I'm in.
advertise? That's what you trying to say? You trying to advertise?
You know what? I'm saying hello.
They got
I'm
special
saying
thanks for that.
hello to everybody
Oh,
on
God.
Facebook. And guess what?
Christian
I'm
Mingle.
saying hello back. And they're telling me that I don't have
Do you do your eyebrows, girl?
Shut up.
You know, my eyebrows, I can do my eyebrows today and they be woolly tomorrow.
Shut up.
You know my eyebrows. So listen, so
Troy said, I
when
don't.
Facebook tells me that I'm a handsome dude, the only one that tell me, you know, and he
Oh my
uses
God.
this,
Lord Jesus.
Toya tell me every day, you're an idiot. What are you gonna take yourself? You know, he's the only one that'll give me a negative comment. The only one.
Oh my
Everybody needs a
God.
friend like Troy.
I
Everybody needs a friend like Troy.
Everybody needs to realize, sure, yeah.
I'll tell you the truth.
You're telling the truth.
Deontay, what do you feel about the selfie?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just just to talk over everything, first, to go back to Dr. Dre or whatever, with him paying this woman, like I said, the last episode, my uncles and my mom and them would always tell me, how you start with a woman is how you gonna finish. So if he started making sure she had that lifestyle, taking care of her mama and everything like that, you shouldn't expect less than that.
Right, but
Y'all
he's still
separate
doing that.
Until she gets back on
He's
her
still
feet,
doing
whatever
that.
the case may
But
be.
does he really
9 out of
need
10
$2 million a
times,
month?
most of us
No.
men, especially at a certain age, when we get with a woman, we either know what she's there for,
No,
we
you don't.
either know that she's loyal, whatever the case may be. You know you gotta take care of her. The fact that you got kids with her, it shouldn't even be a question. Just do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
You got, the
Bam.
kids is,
100.
the kids is watching, the kids is watching.
Bam.
Especially if you got
They
daughters.
grown.
The daughters is watching how you treat their
They grown.
Exactly.
mother in separation will like kind of mold the mind of how his sons may treat their women further down the line. So you just gotta just play fair, man. You married a woman with no prenups and all that, man, stay fair, man. Just
Amen.
the
You
second
know what?
half,
You know what? He didn't finish. You gotta finish the selfie thing.
the second half on why men, I guess, get surgeries, that ain't all brothers. The only brothers that will do steroids and do all of that, and this ain't, I'm not saying this is Dr. Dre at all, but 9 out of 10 times, them was the brothers that wasn't even getting looked at anyways. So they feel like they gotta do that extra stuff to stay relevant or to be looked at. One thing,
Back then, they
as far
didn't
as
want
me, I
them
don't think
hot.
I'm
They
the
all
hottest
on.
man in the world, but I
Mike
just know
Jones.
the ugliness.
Yeah.
My mama, my aunties, everybody, they call me handsome and cute so much.
You adorable.
Whether I was or not, I believe it. So-
Shelly, you love the kid? You love the kid, Shelly?
Oh, Lord.
And to go back on something that Mr. Troy said, because I took a mental note, you right on one thing. Like I said before, when you look at the generation before us, like the Jim Browns, the Richard Roundtrees, and the Ron O'Neal.
Yo, this boy, how old is he?
I know.
30 years old,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
30
Yo,
years
you,
old.
30.
yo,
That's
whoever
man.
your parents are, whoever raised you, they are the most amazing people in the world. Because
Women.
the names you coming out with,
Yes.
there's no
Women.
way that you be coming out with these names.
I
Women,
know.
women.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I hate women. I love women.
So I'm
You know, I
saying,
think
that's
I
who
would-
raised them. No, I'm letting you know. No, I'm letting you
You
know.
must have told my last episode, you hold that against me. I still think the man is the leader, but I still love him.
I do too. I do too, but I'm telling you who raised him.
I can see it. They
Let's
did a
see.
great
Should I
job.
say
They
something?
did a great job.
Should I say something?
This is like the last
Sure.
generation of black men that
Mhm.
walk with confidence. Their
Yeah.
intelligence and how they would take care of their family
Master.
validated what kind of man they were, how they took care of themselves. And like you said, yeah, this generation ain't like that, not at all. It's a lot more sensitive. They a lot more, I don't know, man, they a lot more impressionable to what people say about them.
I think that's the fact that they took the man out of the household, and they're becoming more, they look up to the woman, which is nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you pick up a little bad habits of being more feminine and caring about how you look in the mirror. You're looking at the mirror too long. Man should look in the mirror just to make sure he ain't got no boogers in his nose, and you know, that's it. You know, touch his eye,
Well,
and then he
one
watch
thing I
out
will
for
say about
the
that though,
The
Mr. Troy.
sideline right now.
One thing I will say about that though, Mr. Troy, I don't feel like looking in the mirror necessarily, if you getting yourself together, make sure you getting yourself together right. One thing I will say, with the women that raised me,
Go ahead, rock girl.
they would have me when I go outside, I'm representation of who raised me and who's
Yeah.
around me. And who
Yeah.
brought me up. So if I do walk out and I do look my best, it's only because I was taught to look that way, and that comes with confidence too. Now you do whatever you gotta do
Yeah.
to feel good about yourself. If it take you an hour, hey, that's on you then. That's
No,
on you. You understand what I'm saying? Some
I
people
hear
may need a little bit more than that when they walk outside, whatever you gotta do. But I do feel like this generation is a little bit more sensitive though.
Yeah, straight up sensitive.
God,
And
say,
they take
That's
you
right.
up.
you've been talking too much, big guy.
Okay. Okay.
You sound great, and on most of the stuff you saying, I believe you are. I know you a good brother at heart. But man, I think you enjoy is kissing up to these women. You know,
No, man.
I'm done. Wait, did he say that out loud? He said it
and
out
I
loud.
love, listen, all of these women on here know that, my true colors, you know what I mean? But, you know what? Y'all ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Not nothing like. You get a manicure, stop showing your fingernails. I love y'all, but, it's like, right now, I'm just, because y'all had messed my head up so much, I'm loving myself more. Before, I loved y'all more than anything in the world. And I got beautiful sisters, friends, everybody. I love all my friends, but I ain't giving y'all really no attention. I'm giving myself all the attention. I love me. I ain't kissing up to y'all no more. I did everything. You know what? It seems like to me y'all want to do y'all anyway. Well, do you? You know what I mean?
I am completely in shock here. I don't understand what's happening. What's the trajectory of the show? What's happening, Rashid?
I wish I could explain this.
I know.
I wish I could explain this.
Rashid, Lori, Queen Sid.
Promise you, on my dead brother's grave, it ain't about trying to impress nobody, and that's what I'm saying about the differences with some men. You understand what I'm saying? How you step out is who you represent.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, with some brothers, and I'm not saying it's Dr. Dre or any of us men that's on this phone, for some brothers, they gotta do extra to impress, or they gotta do extra to get attention. Fortunately enough for me, I ain't one of them brothers. I ain't gotta do all of it. I know what my stuff, and I gotta know my own word. So the only,
Shelly, why you shooting your shot? Shelly, why you shooting your shot right now? Shelly out here shooting shots.
right? The only thing I got to go on is the tools that's been given to me.
That's
right.
When I big up the women or the men that raised me, it's not me trying to impress nobody. That's all I got. That's all I got in my toolbox. So I gotta let you know where I got it from. You know what I'm saying? So when I say the Ron O'Neills and the Richard Roundtrees, you gotta listen to that too. I didn't just get this swag of personality at my own. It's something that I've learned over time. And once again, I don't try to impress. Now, that happens naturally. You know what I mean? That's something that comes with my family. You gotta get mad at my grandfathers and all that.
Right.
They did a long time ago.
They said, don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the player. That's the bloodline. You already know it's in the bloodline. Pimpin' since been pimpin'. Since been pimpin'.
Oh, all right. All right. We've had a colorful conversation.
What did you say, Rashid?
I haven't said a word yet.
I'm not getting nowhere. You know what I mean? It's, wow, nobody sees me for me. But when I was
Now they do, Mr. Gerald. You said
No,
earlier,
when I was
taking them selfies, they was telling you the attention, man. Come on now. All right, no. They love you out here, man. They love you out here.
Got a big smile on.
No,
He get a nice fresh
when you
cut.
get older,
Time to get a
when
nice
you get
fresh
older,
cut.
brother,
You know he's taking
when
himself.
you get in your late 50s, you won't be taking selfies too much, bro.
I'm done.
Hey, I'm gonna take them pictures now. Like you said, if I'm hit your flowers while you can. Yourself, right? And Mr. Gerald, this is you as an OG teaching me something, right? Even in your old age, you can post one picture and it get a whole bunch of comments. But and you ain't talking, you ain't showing what's in your bank account, you ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying about some men. Be glad that you ain't gotta take no steroids. You ain't gotta
Yeah.
do all that extra. You ain't got the billions of dollars that Dr. Dre got. So that's what I'm saying about me, you, and Mr. Troy. I'm not part of that class where I feel like I gotta get ready longer than my woman, or I gotta look better than my woman. Nah, you know, raised by the
I'll be back, guys. I gotta go answer the door. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds
The
good.
only thing that I will appreciate is that the fact that whatever tools that was given to me, I don't gotta do all of that. Or I'm not
Right,
looking for it.
right.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And to,
Exactly.
go to the last point, I guess you guys were saying about, what was it, the steroids and everything like that?
Steroid use.
That's all for the brothers that feel that they need that. I think when you get to a certain point in your life, it don't matter what size you are. It's about what you bring to the table. So if Gerald Levert never had to lose weight
Right.
or have a six-pack, if
Right.
Barry White never had to have a six-pack, Marvin Gaye and some of these other guys, like the other guys I named, Ron O'Neal, Richard Roundtree, you know what I mean, Willie Dynamite, all these guys, right? They didn't need no six-pack, they didn't need none of that. If you are somebody that's used to the attention, or you used to talking to women, or you're comfortable with talking to women, you know don't none of that matters.
That's
A
true.
lot of these rappers or actors or entertainers, they wasn't used to that before they had the money. So they still don't know what to do even after they have the money.
Right.
There's two words I wanna just end it with, I don't wanna, so you can go on. Pride and ego. That's two words that men have. They have too much pride, and their ego is too high. That's why they kill each other on the street, and that's why they gotta look better than their woman nowadays.
Damn.
So anytime I see something that makes a man look bad, I have to attack it and call it like it is. Stop trying to be better than the woman. Let the woman shine. That's their thing, to look beautiful. You just make sure you don't mess up the night by wearing sneakers with your suit.
Queen Sia. Go ahead. You want to do it?
On and look proper for the woman so you won't embarrass her. That's her time to shine.
Okay. Yes, he did.
Do not wear sneakers with a suit, John. Oh my God.
Okay.
He's wearing sneakers with a suit or a shoe.
That's not really proper dress attire at all, but okay. Right.
Well, Shelly, what you say, Shell? Well, is okay? What about you, Queen Sia? Where you at on this?
Well, you know, if you have great self-esteem, it'll show through your outside, you know? I mean, it's all about having confidence in yourself, whether it's a male, you're a male or a female, you know? It is a turn off if a man is in the mirror longer than me, that's true. 'Cause, you know, you
Yes.
can't be fighting for the mirror.
That part.
That's insane. However, you know, if you have great confidence in yourself and you want to make yourself feel good and look good, there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Right.
That's my take
Just a
on
little
it.
sprucing it up a little bit.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Lori G, what you thinking?
It shouldn't be a competition, right?
Right.
It should be about what makes you feel good yourself, right? So it shouldn't be like my woman is in the mirror 15 minutes, so I gotta be in the mirror 30 minutes because I gotta make sure I look better than her. And you're a couple, you're a bond, you're together. You know, you have a oneness that you should have about each other. And relationships shouldn't be about competition, right? It should be about looking at myself and having the confidence of what I am, right? Or who I've decided to be. I mean, always being a heavy step woman, I'm really sensitive to that, you know? It took me such a long time to live within my body and to feel beautiful within who I am. Because I'm not a size 4, right? Or I'm not a size, 6. So who said a size 14 isn't lovely, right? But if I accept that it's not, then I will always be ashamed when I'm out in the world, right? So I have to believe that I am beautiful when I look in that mirror. And if I look in that mirror and I have on tennis shoes with a tuxedo, if I feel confident about that, rock that. You go do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing it for you, for your beauty within you. There's no rubric or guideline that says what things should or shouldn't be or how things should or they shouldn't look. Do you know what I'm saying? It just, that's the time.
You had to bring up the tennis shoes and the suit, right? All right, so I'm gonna have to get you on that. I'll have to get you on that. First of all, we gotta stop this nonsense that, this is our thing, hip hop. Hip hop is about wearing sneakers and a cap. That's not hip hop. I mean, that's not who we are. We kings and queens. When we were kings back in the days, we wouldn't be rocking those tennis shoes with the suit on. We would be wearing something that looks proper. Back in Africa, we were wearing we gotta stop this.
Maybe I have bad feet. Maybe I have corns.
I ain't sure. You wear some nice shoes. You don't have to wear the sneakers with the suit, man. Come on, son. You just killing it. I like hip hop too, but sneakers with the suit.
But are they clean sneakers?
Well, yeah. What are the sneakers like?
In the desert in California, in the suburbs, and all the little white kids out here, when they go to prom, they have on their tuxedos and tennis shoes. You
Everything, you know what they stole it
got
from
nothing to do with hip hop.
Everything a white man did, they stole it from a black man. Every fashion style, we did it.
Basic.
We just take it, we do something, they're gonna do it too, so you can't go by that.
All I can say is everybody has their individual style. Everybody can rock whatever they want to rock.
Whatever they
If I
want.
want to wear a pair of tennis shoes with a long sleeve evening gown, if that's what I want to rock and I feel good in it, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna not wear it because you think old school, I'm supposed to be in high heels with a long
You don't have to wear high heels.
or whatever the case may be. I want my children and I want the people that are around me to be confident in what their style is, not what I think they should wear.
Wow.
Okay, so hold on.
Turn the camera on you, Rashid.
All right, hold on.
Aroused.
Wait, aroused? Wait a minute. So basically you are now Viagra, okay.
You don't have to be, you don't have to be, so technical, man. You can do whatever you want. I mean, just because, who are you to say that sneakers not good with a suit? Who you can't do that, man.
That's where style comes from.
We got a coworker that went to a wedding with some Jordans on with his suit.
That's
His
crazy.
mother, and the mother, his mother-in-law was like, what the hell?
That's from 1950. Like,
It don't matter. Come on. So,
What time is it?
Okay. Okay, so we have to look at different eras and look at how times have changed. Look at what women have had to deal with back in like the 1920s or even earlier than that. Look what all the crap that they had to put up with. Now, compare that to now where we're in a women empowerment movement to where literally they have been empowered to say that they are INDEPENDENT if you know what that means. So when it comes down to it, we were in different eras and different raisings and upbringings. I myself am only 28 years old. Now, when we come to the talk of steroids, it depends on the type of steroids that you're talking about, because if you're talking about an anabolic steroid, those are the ones that after long-term use can actually have adverse effects on your brain. So until we get an actual blood test on what was in Dr. Dre's system during that time, I would like to not comment about that, about possibilities and what ifs and what nots. Now, when it comes to the $2 million, he's already paying for everything else except for the attorneys. Back when he's still going to be covering the mother, and he's still going to be covering basically a lot of other things. So for her to still be trying to get the $2 million a month, to me that seems a bit much.
Excessive.
Because to me, back when $2 million, and then she's trying to ask for $5 million to pay attorneys.
So it's a rough game, Margie.
Right, and in fact, she's just trying to literally play the system and play the game, because in these type of systems, it's usually, sorry to say, in the judicial system, it's usually the woman that actually wins in these bouts. It's tough.
You can't do it, I tried.
Nah, he probably gonna, keep himself wrapped up. But right, if it's not working out on both ends, you cannot force somebody to work, because we are not back in those 1920s. We are not back in those times where you had to actually put up with all the bull crap.
Right.
We're not back in those times.
Okay, guys, this has been.
Do you remember the time?
Do you remember the time? Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? We only have 3 minutes left of this amazing ride. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Go ahead, Juro. I just want to give you a timeline. We've had a great time.
How I think on money situations. You and Deontay did because, it made sense. I thought about it, and when you're by yourself thinking, and you go through separation, you be like, I ain't giving a shit. But after you hear people who make sense, and people who care, and people, when you don't have your own mind, and you're not mad at, and you've had time to think about it, maybe, I was wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe I would, do some things that you guys had brought up. You know what I mean? But I do believe that a lot of times women are, they're asking for a lot more than they, should be getting. But they should get a lot, but not the astronomical stuff they be asking.
Well, I have to say that I have to agree with you too. Sometimes there are people that are greedy, but however, there are, when you go through a divorce, there are different totals that you're given. There's different things that both of you are given to survive. And depending on that lifestyle, that's why I'm saying, I just feel it's unfair for people on the outside to judge when you're not on the inside. We don't know how much her house note is. We don't know how much her car is. We don't know how much it is for her mother to live.
But he's paying all that though.
I'm just saying, we don't know, and a lot of times, I think it's unfair to say what a person deserves when we're on the outside.
Covering all that. This is for her personal use.
So I think, I want to congratulate you, Pat,
if
for
it's for
saying
her
that.
personal use,
My point is
he's covering
exactly
everything
that.
else.
Because when somebody hears 2 million,
We are
they
asking for $2 million
astronomically think,
personally.
oh my God, that's too much. But you don't know what that person's lifestyle was like. For example, $1,000 to someone else could be too much. $2,000 could be too much. $2,000 a month could be too much to some people. So depending on the lifestyle that people have, and during that 25 years, who are we on the outside to say what is too much?
Hey.
That's all I would say.
YouTube
I'm
exclusive.
not saying she deserves it, I'm not saying she
YouTube and
don't.
Facebook exclusive.
I'm just saying, we have to think about that. How was this woman living for 25 years? And like Mr. Troy said, how do we know if that might just be the chick? I mean, he wrote that check so quick out of the hospital bed. He might have just said, here, give her this, shut her up, and leave me alone for until April, because I'm trying to heal. And that's just
She's trying to get better.
Wow.
Right. She might get more, she might get less, but just give it to her to shut her up so I can get well.
Shut up.
This ain't hurting me.
Shut up.
At least it's not a month.
We're only gonna get that.
But he's also covering everything else. This is for her personally. This is $2 million
But
personally.
she maybe used to live off $5 million personally.
But she's trying to get for $5 million to pay for attorneys.
You know what I mean? So, guys, we've got a lot more to talk about here on the Poetry of Justice show. We have gone into the after hours, and we've had a great time tonight. I know I have Lori G. and Miss Chris Fisher, Shelly C., Big Tap, all the way down in Oklahoma. You know I love it down there. Deontay, the lovely Miss Queen C. I thank you so much, Queen. And Troy. You must come back. We're gonna get a whole new program lined up with you and Shelly. I gotta talk to you guys in the after hours room, guys. We gotta get in the green room talk. I see another thread. What you see, Queen Shea? We see a new thread developing here, ladies and
She
gentlemen.
out
We're
here
gonna have
shooting
some fun.
shots.
There we are. But I just want to say that I love each and every one of you, and God bless you, and thank you for spending your time with the Poetry of Justice show. This was our grand opening for 2021, and I'm just going to hail it as a success. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to say it's a success. What about you, Sia? Yeah, it's a success. We're going to say, yeah. Lori G, did you want to have any parting words? What we got coming up next week, Queen?
Oh boy.
Yes.
Gerald, get your show ready.
I know, right? We got to get the topic because we're going to need some men. So, Deontay, be on the lookout. Of course, Brother Troy. And, you know, that's Big Tap Promotions Department. You coming, Shelly? Deontay coming, Shelly? Okay, all right. So you heard it, Deontay. Popular demand. It's the main dish.
Oh God.
When the side.
When the Sancho becomes the desired. Oh God.
Only on yaxradio.com, ladies and gentlemen, the Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay. It's gonna be right here going down. It's the going down episode, everybody. We're gonna do it. I see you guys in 7 days. Queen Sia, we're gonna be touching base offline. So y'all be ready. Troy, you gonna come back?
In closing, I will say, when it comes to fashion, it's all about comfortability.
Oh, Lord.
Because ain't no one trying to walk in high heels in 90-degree weather. Nah, I'm currently wearing flip-flops.
Facebook for joining us tonight.
I'm wearing flip-flops right now. I am comfortable.
It's been a blast. I love you guys. I'm gonna get ready to head back. We out. POJ show, JackieRay. Let's do it. Boo.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Listen, Lord,
Yes.
There we go.
I'm going and,
We did over 300 views.
get a picture up when they
Damn.
I
hands
didn't even
up.
advertise.
Picture of them.
300.
You
God.
gotta stop video.
Huh?
You have a picture, you already have a picture uploaded
Uploaded to what, Chris?
to Facebook,
To Zoom.
you can put on,
To Zoom. Just have a photo you upload it to Zoom.
No.
yeah, cause
Yeah.
if you don't have a picture, then it'll just be like a little white head with a little body right there with your.
No, I want a picture like you guys got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
you
have
just
picture
upload
and then.
that.
Okay.
Mhm.
I am interview. I'm advertising right now.
Oh, Lord
I
Jesus.
mean,
Oh, Lord
I'm in
Jesus.
This nigga,
Lord
this nigga, and they go on. This nigga make me go.
Okay.
Oh, forget meat black single or meat black singles. Nah.
You hear this?
Nah, nigga.
Oh, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Mwah.
This
I totally forgot about
this
you, too.
nigga.